everybody? Welcome behind Enemy Lines with Patrick Gibbons. I'm hosting today's show. What do you hear? What do you say? Just glad to be here. I want to thank the opportunity to many beautiful people that got me out here. I want to give a big thanks to Terry Newsom, Mike Lauber, and all the beautiful people that has me in this seat right now. We're going to talk about a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Mostly woke joke liberals that's ruining our country, right? Ruining Cook County, ruining Chicago. We have a lot of those jokers. A little bit about me before we get to those jokers. As you all know, my name is Patrick Gibbons. I came into this political circus, I call it a political circus, by a man by the name of Frank Coconati. Frank Coconati was a father figure to me in politics, activism. In fact, he has passed away 3 years as of yesterday. He died on June 24th, 2023. And people give him mixed reviews. You know, some people love them, some people hate them. But that's part of politics, right? Part of politics. Some people you like, some people you love. I guess that's everybody in life when you think about it. Frank, he was very much invested in bringing back the Columbus statues, bringing back the Columbus statues to a Regal Park where they belong, where they belong. There's been so much discrimination against the Italian Americans of Chicago. The Italian Americans deserve better. Christopher Columbus, the statues deserve to come back. And that's how I got into this political circus. I got into it with Frank Coconati fighting, bring back those statues. And I guess I just got addicted to activism in a way. I got addicted to it where I enjoy helping out other people. I love people. Believe it or not, I do. I'm crazy about the average day Joe, you know, the blue collar worker. Me, I work at the United States Postal Service. I've worked at the United States Postal Service for 6 years, since June of 2020. So I know all about the hardworking man and woman. All right. And then I told myself, get involved, Patrick. Just throw your ass out there. So what? I had such fears growing up in public speaking. Public speaking, I actually had a major league phobia, but I got my ass out there. I threw my ass out there and I got better. I got better. I got to know people. And then I got to know people for what they really are too, which is important because I'm quick. I'm a quick learner. But with the people like Frank Coconati, I close this and I open this, always remaining humble 100% because I know with the older folks, they know the good people of Chicago, they know what's going on. They know that these woke joke liberals are just destroying our beautiful city. Frank Coconati knew that. And he showed me the ropes. He told me about different politicians, different people. You gotta be careful of this guy, be careful of that guy. You know, you want to do this instead of that. And I listened. I listened to every word that man said. And I love Frank Coconati. I know he went straight to heaven. He's a good man. Bringing back that statue would be my ultimate goal as an activist. My ultimate goal, bring back those Christopher Columbus statues. Slowly but surely, I got into activism and I got involved with other politicians, candidates, what have you. I got involved with Bob Fioretti, Mr. Fioretti, and we got involved with homicide case that involved a 6-year-old young man that was shot in the head. And then that really broke me up. I don't like kids being killed. Nobody should. It's not right. Told myself I need to do more of this. I just can't be sitting down on my ass, not doing anything, right? So I got myself involved. I went, kept going to different areas of Chicago. Rosa Chacon, Rosa Chacon, I made a press conference. I organized a press conference on her 22nd birthday. She was found strangled to death in a shopping cart in an alley, dead. 2 weeks prior to that, there was another young lady in the same neighborhood, no less than a mile and a half away, dead, strangled in an alley. I made sure doing a press conference, I said to everybody, there's a serial killer in this neighborhood. People don't like that talk. J.B. Pritzker doesn't like hearing that. Our fat slob of a governor, Brandon Johnson, that bozo, he would tell you it's an isolated incident. No joke. No joke. In the meanwhile, I'm out there, I'm offering big time rewards, and I could pay it. I certainly can pay it. I work at the United States Postal Service. We still get paid good money, and I save up. And I would have gave every penny to find that murdering scumbag that killed Rosa Chacon. And then I went on to do missing person type of cases like Kira Coles. Kira Coles has been missing at that time in 2023 for 4 years. Kira Coles, I've seen her a couple of times. She worked at the post office as a carrier, but she used to work at the O'Hare Distribution Center. And I used to work at the Bussy Distribution Center. And sometimes when they do overtime, they would go to Bussy. I knew Kira. I talked to her a couple of times. When she went missing, she was 4 months pregnant. She was missing for 4 years. She's a federal worker, an African-American woman. And the FBI didn't want to do nothing about it. You would think they would say, hey, this is a federal worker. Let's get involved. I organized a press conference to get the FBI off their ass. You understand? And during that time, they did an illegal raid at Mar-a-Lago, Trump's house, going into his son's area, going into his wife's area, probably sniffing Melania's underwear. But they should be out there looking for Kira Coles, my friend that's been missing for 4 years. And we demanded the FBI to get off their ass and do something about it. And you know what happened, ladies and gentlemen? I swear to God in the Holy Bible, the very next day after that press conference, the FBI got off their lazy ass and looked for Kira Coles. And they're looking for it to this day. That's what an activist does. Listen to me. If you're listening to me, an activist doesn't get paid for the work they do for others. They don't. They do it out of their heart. They do it because of conviction. And that's what I do. I give my heart and soul to the city of Chicago. And with this activism, I also had a radio show, a great radio show. It was called Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk. We lasted 6 months. We didn't last. It was on WCGO, okay, 1590 AM, Mondays and Tuesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. And we talked about everything in Chicago, from the crooked judicial system. I call it crooked because they let these parasites out like a revolving door. Very recently, last year, I was on Fox 32 giving a very descriptive CTA plan of safety. I swear to Jesus, I gave a very descriptive plan. Just like the post office has their own police, I propose CTA having their own police. Let's have police officers instead of security guards sitting down, looking at their phone, unarmed, and when the train comes by, let's just stand up and look like we're doing something about it. I worked security for almost 15 years before I worked at the post office. I know what they do. It may seem like I'm throwing them under the bus. I am throwing them under the bus. They don't do shit. You need armed security officers, police officers, manning that platform. The people on the CTA needs to remain safe. Okay? This parasite that put a young lady on fire. Lawrence Reed had 72 arrests, 9 felonies. Lawrence Reed, okay? And that's very important to know his name. Very important. A judge put this scumbag on electric monitoring after 72 arrests and 9 felonies. Teresa Molina Gonzalez was the judge's name that put the scumbag on electric monitoring. Ralph Melchek said to this scumbag, it's okay, you could go free. Forget the electric monitoring. That's the second judge. These are Crook County judicial judges now. Okay, circuit court judges. I want you to remember their names. Teresa Molina Gonzalez, Ralph Melchek allowed Lawrence Reed with 72 arrests and 9 felonies out on the street on electric monitoring. Burns almost to death a young lady on the train just going home from work. I have to fight these parasite judges over and over again. I had a press conference in front of Theodore Roosevelt High School, and I'm going to get to that later. And I want you to see that very press conference because it was a great press conference calling out a scumbag that raped 2 young boys. His name, the judge, Arthur Willis, put that guy on electric monitoring. Aren't we sick about this? Aren't we sick of the crime? I want everybody to know that when I was on Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk, I called out all of these people. I've called them out over and over and over again like a broken record. And I want you to know their names because you got to stop being oblivious of what's around you as a voter. You need to avoid voting for these Democrat judges that ruins everything around you. Criminals going through like a revolving door over and over again. I had guests, great guests on Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk back in 2023. I had guests such as Jeannie Ives. I had guests such as Darren Bailey. Who knows these names? Give me a hell yeah if you know what I'm talking about. David Shistokis. Okay. Some very good committee people. Chicago GOP committee people. I even had a live interview with my own beautiful fiance, who I'm going to marry in December. Her name is Ramona T. Bonilla. I love you, baby. I know you're watching right now. I'm going to marry that woman. She's with the Chicago GOP 31st Ward elected committee person. And she's on the ballot for 8th District Cook County Commissioner, Republican. And she's going to run for alderperson down the line. She's a beautiful woman. Sometimes I don't know how she puts up with my shit, but she's so beautiful. She is. And I had a live interview with her. This show we had lasted 6 months. It was a great show. It was a terrific show. Walter Adamczyk was the co-host. Walter Adamczyk ran for Secretary of State. Okay, this past election, and he did a hell of a job. He didn't put much effort into it, but he did a hell of a job. The man got 250,000 votes, and I helped him. Of all kinds of media. You name it, I gave it to him. Chicago Tribune, Sun Times, Polish Radio, AM 560 with Jennifer McGuire. Jennifer, thank you. John Anthony, John Boy, thank you. I love you all at AM 560 for giving Walter the opportunity. Sean Thompson, thank you, babe. You're a great guy. And people understood who Walter was. Walter did a fantastic job. He could have done more, but he did a fantastic job for his first run. We took Cook County by 9 points. We took Chicago by 26 points. We took DuPage County. Well, we took Cook County by 17 points. We took Chicago by 26 points. We took DuPage by 9 points. And we took Will County by 12 points. We took Will County by 12 points. That was Diane Harris's own county. We took it by 12 points. And Walter Adamczyk never even left the fucking house. We took it by 12 points. How did we do that? We did that with media. We did that with heart. We did that with love. We did. And that's the damn truth of it all. It really is. Damn truth. We wish Diane Harris the best, of course. And I'll leave it at that. But during this great radio show, it had a change. It had a change. And I just want to show everybody, can we put up on the board that I was the owner of the show? I want everybody to see that I was the owner of the show. Thank you. That's good. That's good. I want everybody to know that I was the owner of that show at WCGO. A great show. Walter, at the last second, left me after almost 6 months. He had to stay a full year according to the contract. I can't tell you how pissed off I was at Walter. I said every dirty name under the sun to that guy. But that's what friends do. Let me tell you something. The best of friends say it to a man's face, not behind her back. And that's key. If you have issue, you say it to their face. You don't say it to their back. You don't do that. I wasn't raised that way. If I don't like you, I'll tell you. I don't like you. If I like you, I'll tell you I like you. I don't have to tell you I like you. You know I like you. I like so many people out there, it's unbelievable. So much love out there. So Walter left. So I had to do what was needed in order to get the show going. My first rodeo in politics. And at the time, my father figure, Frank Coconati, was very sick. He was very sick. He was dying. He had cancer. And eventually had a massive heart attack. So I couldn't put him on the show. He was too weak. I needed somebody. So one of my guests, that was my guest, came out and volunteered and said, I will help you. I know you're looking for a co-host. You all seen that I was the owner of that show, right? His name was Joe Severino. Oh, Joey! Joey said, Patrick, in a message, I want to be on your show. Let's do this. Let's host. It's like, okay, that sounds good. I like that. Because, as you all know, he ran for Congress in the 10th district, right? He went against Brad Schneider. He lost. He had 37%. But he got a hell of a lot of votes, over 100,000 votes. So I'm thinking to myself, Joey Severino, this is a good pick. This will bring ratings in, right? This will boost up the morale at WCGO. Walter gone, back against the wall. I got Joe Severino come in. Everything is golden. At least I thought. I learned as I go on. Remind you, I started in 2022 with Frank. Okay? This is 2023, midpoint. So I'm learning as I go along. I don't know anybody from anybody. I take them at first glance, and I think they're all good people, nice people, beautiful people. Like Mother said, always be nice. That's what my mom always said. Be polite to people. Be polite. Okay, I'll be polite. And I was so polite to Joe. I swear to God, I gave him the floor and the table and the microphone. Joe was like, you know what? It would sound better if my name was first and you were second, my own show. You know what I said? I swear to Jesus. I said, Joe, that's no problem. We'll have it Joe Severino and Patrick Gibbons. I have no problem with that. And then he wanted to rename the show from Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk to the Revelators. I'm thinking to myself, that's an old gospel song. He wants to name it like the Revelators. Revelators. Okay. All right. I like that. I don't know where you got that from, but I like it. Okay. It's a little catchy. You know, it's catchy. It's catchy. It has some pizzazz. All right. We'll do it that way. Okay, Joe. You got the name. I give this guy the name, top billing. Remind you, it's my show. I didn't say nothing. I did not say a word to this man. Nothing. Because I like the fact he volunteered and he came in. That's what I wanted. And I wanted him to be comfortable, right? As a guest, I wanted him to be comfortable. That's what we do, right? We make our guests feel comfortable. I mean, look at me. I'm looking comfortable right now, right? You know what I mean? I'm in the king's chair right now, talking politics. I'm very gratified to be in this chair, let me tell you. So, okay. He gives me ideas. He pitches me ideas. He's like, you know who we should bring to the show? I was like, who, Joe? Who should we bring to the show? He's like, let's bring Terry Newsom to the show. It's like, Terry Newsom? Terry Newsom? Who the fuck is Terry Newsom? You don't know who Terry Newsom is. He's one of the best activists in Illinois. What's wrong with you, man? It's like, what's Joe? I didn't know who Terry was. I didn't know. We'll invite him, sure. At that time, there was so much love from Joe for Terry. It was unbelievable. So it was a lot of love. A lot of love for everybody. He was just a loving guy, you would think. Our first guest for the Revelators, from Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk to the Revelators, was, get this, his name is Mr. Perry Abbasi. Yes, yes. Joe Severino never heard of Perry Abbasi until my show. That wasn't my name. He may have had the name change because I was nice to him, but it was my show. I want you all to know that. You just seen the contract. Okay, this is getting good, right? The same Perry Abbasi that was paid close to $20,000 to keep him on the ballot for governor, and other things Perry did for him too. Close to 20 G's. Perry laughed all the way to the bank. I think he's laughing right now watching this. I love you, Perry. By the way, I want to make an announcement to everybody. Perry Abbasi is going to be my campaign manager and my attorney because I plan to run for office. I'm running for office for 25th Police District Council member. I want everybody to know that because I view safety as number one. I'm announcing it on this show that I'm running for 25th Police District Council member. All you need is 250 signatures to get on the ballot, and I plan to get on the ballot easily. So easy. I will. And Perry Abbasi is going to be my campaign manager. The same guy that laughed all the way to the bank with his 20 G's from Joey. But anyways, getting back to my little story. I know you guys are loving this. Joe Severino had this crazy idea that he was owner of the show. And according to his words, you know, I got some skin in the game. Therefore, it's my show too. It's like, because I would tell him no. I was telling him no on this, I know on that. That's how it started. Because he was demanding instead of asking. And when you demand things, I'm thinking to myself, that's all right. It's my show. You're demanding? You're demanding? You're demanding after I was so nice to you? I was so nice to you. And you're becoming demanding. I'm just trying to get this straight. Let me get this straight. You're becoming demanding to a guy like me, not knowing the repercussions of that. I think he knows the repercussions of it now. Okay. I told him, dude, it's my show. My name is on the contract. You can give me suggestions, but you're not going to be demanding. He was telling me about, oh, we should get this guest and that guest. And then I was telling him that because our second guest after Perry Abbasi was Darren Bailey. And that was a great interview. Darren Bailey. And I wanted to bring in questions of Christianity, questions of him being pro life. Because I feel that Darren Bailey is walking away from his own faith when it comes to politics. Yes, I said it online for everybody to hear it. I feel Darren Bailey's walking away from his own faith because he wants to get votes. Am I wrong for saying that? Now I'm going to vote for Darren. But at the end of the day, we got to all look at the sanctity of life. In 2023 alone, Pritzker, who is the champion of abortion, there were statistics that you didn't even know of. Close to 74,000 babies were brutally slaughtered in Illinois. Did you know that? Close to 74,000 babies slaughtered in the mother's womb. I don't care if that turns you off. It turns me off thinking about it. It turns me off that at abortion clinics, when they're done aborting the baby, they throw it in the dumpster right behind the abortion clinic. Did you know that? Did you know that in that dumpster behind the abortion clinic, there's dead bodies of babies? Did you know that? Oh, yeah. It's true. They just throw it in the garbage in a bag. I'm not making this up. Like it's garbage. Like it's nothing. Darren Bailey should talk up more about that. And he was at the time going against Mike Boss for Congress. You all remember that, right? And Trump endorsed Boss. It seems like whomever Trump endorses, they win. Because Trump is good as gold, in my opinion. He's the greatest president in the 21st century, baby. I voted for Trump in 16, 20, and 24, and I'm proud of it. I want you all to know that. I believe he's the greatest president in the 21st century. We have a good one in Donald Trump. We sure do. And Joe Severino, I found out not too long ago that he didn't vote for Trump in the last election. Did you know that? That he did not vote for Donald Trump. No, I didn't vote for Trump or Kamala Harris. Did you know that? So for you folks that backs Joe Severino and talks to Joe Severino and loves Joe Severino, did you know he didn't vote for Trump? Do you call that real Republican? A real Republican? Do you call that a real Republican? I'm asking you a question. Please post your answers on my Facebook page. Don't say nothing. Don't be shy. What do you think about that? That a man didn't vote for Donald Trump, the greatest president in the 21st century. What does that tell you? If you run for public office, you need to have a fucking spine. You understand? Stop being a pussy. You got to wake up the voters that hasn't voted for 20 plus years. Those Republicans, the silent majority, if we want to win elections in this state, you got to wake them up. Who gives a damn about rhetoric? Who gives a damn of, oh, he said this? That's very insulting. Oh, my goodness. I can't bear listening to Donald Trump. He's such an insulting man. What is wrong with you people? Donald Trump is the Republican Party. He is. He got 45% in Illinois, 45, 46%. That's incredible. Do you know how incredible that is? Bob Fioretti, God bless him, in his last election, state's attorney, Cook County state's attorney, he got like 30-something percent. He got 30% in Cook County, where Donald Trump got 46%. Yeah, Bob. that little endorsement you got from Jesse Jackson Jr., where he endorsed your name on Kamala Harris signs, didn't pan out so well, did it, Bob? Yet the Chicago GOP and Cook County GOP opens the door for Bob Fioretti, the man that had signs with Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and Bob Fioretti on it. Make it make sense, Bob. Make it make sense. The same Bob Fioretti that told David Shostokis, reach out to him. I want some of his press conferences. So I said, I ignored that one. Oh, I didn't say no. I ignored that one. Okay? Because I represent real Republicans. Real Republicans. Donald Trump type of Republicans that wants to take the state and make it red, baby red. You understand? Joe Severino is no Trump supporter. Joe Severino, in an article against Brad Schneider, said basically it's the mother's right to have an abortion. It's online if you want to look at it. Sure is. And when I asked Mr. Bailey certain questions, and I wanted to go on asking him questions about Christianity, Mr. Severino's response was, I think we said enough about Christianity questions to him. We don't want to sound like Bible thumpers. We don't want to sound like Bible thumpers. That's what he said to me. I took it in. I took it in. But I'm one of those guys where you say something to me, and then I think about it, and I think about it, and I think about it, and then I come back, right? I come back to it, and then I approach of what was said like 6 hours ago, 7 hours ago. And I'm like, Joe, at the end of the day, it's my show. It's not your show. And this is where the conflict came in. This is where the conflict came in. And I said to him after that, after he was demanding, Joe Severino, I swear to God, who said he was an attorney to me, he said he was an attorney, which was proven not too long ago that the man is not an attorney. He's not an attorney. Maybe in his brain he's an attorney. Whoever seen the movie Arsenic and Old Lakes? Arsenic and Old Lakes with Cary Grant. Some of you folks probably seen it, right? There was an actor in the movie that acted like Teddy Roosevelt. But he wasn't really Teddy Roosevelt. He was quite insane. Now, I'm not saying Joe Severino is insane. I'm just saying some people think they're something and they're really not that type of person, you know? He's no fucking attorney, okay? Prove it. He's not an attorney. But at the time, I didn't know. He's telling me, oh, I have this law degree from Harvard. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue the radio station. I'm going to say that you have fake Facebook accounts. He sure did say that. Whether I do or don't, that's really none of your damn business. I'm going to tell the world that you're a racist, a racist, a racist. Something that other people in Republican circles in Illinois has been talking about. Right? Right? Right. Zoe Lee from Chicago Flips Red, calling every white person in the Republican Party a racist. I just don't understand it. Zoe, just because we're white doesn't mean we're racist. We're good people. We're good Christian people. You need to stop doing that nonsense, Zoe. You really do. It's not nice to call people racist, Zoe. Okay? That's the liberal way out. And we know you're not a liberal. Got to do better than that. Shame on you. Shame on you. Okay? I've been hearing you a lot, Zoe, lately on your podcast, and you're calling certain people racists. Liberals do that. When they don't get their way, they call people racists. Racist, racist, racist. That's the liberal way. You can always tell a liberal by their true colors. They use the words racist, xenophobe, homophobe, don't they? They use those words because they can't win in an education type of conversation, intellectual. They can't do it. They can't say it. They can't talk. They're so gone. It's unbelievable. Zoe and Danielle Carter seems to have a nice little run right now, but they're going to be gone in a couple of years. That's just my opinion. They want to do everything in their power to make it look like they're Republican. But if you look at their voting records for the last 20 years, they're not Republican. They're doing this all because of a building that was taken away from them and they're mad at the world. I can understand that because I was out there too fighting to get these damn migrant shelters out from various neighborhoods. I was. They tried to do a migrant shelter at 115th and Halstead. I was out there with Pastor Anthony Wilson, a great Republican, a man that doesn't call white people racist. And yes, he's black. He doesn't use that. He's a real Republican, voted for Trump. And I had many press conferences with that man, many press conferences with Pastor Anthony Wilson. Tom DeVore is not a racist. Okay, Zoe? Terry Newsom is not a racist. And for you to call them racist, that's bad. That doesn't look good. And if you notice, they're losing their following. And now they're totally going against Darren Bailey. Did you notice that? They're totally going against Darren Bailey. Much like Joe Severino was, the presumptive nominee. But Joey didn't make the ballot. Well, I'll tell you who was happy at the end of the day. My friend Perry Abbasi, who was laughing his ass all the way to the bank with Joey's money. Now, why am I so mean to Joe? Let's not forget he threatened me with a lawsuit. He did. He did. I had a conversation with my then girlfriend, now fiance, Miss Ramona T. Bonilla. Again, remember that name. She's running for what? 8th District Cook County Commissioner. 8th District Cook County Commissioner. She's going to do a hell of a job. She's a beautiful woman. And late at night, Joe Severino calls me multiple times. I got the phone calls to prove it. I got the text messages to prove it. Just in case he says in the post, that never happened. I could always post these calls and text messages. Threatening my fiance. That, I swear to Jesus, that I'm going to sue you and that he's going to sue me and I'm going to sue you also. Said that to Ramona. My Ramona doesn't take shit from anyone. She's a tough cookie. She's a tough cookie. She is. She used to be on the board for SEIU Local 73 until she was voted out 28-1 by a liberal SEIU Local 73 union because, get this, she posted conservative stuff on her Facebook page. I swear to you. And the union comes back and they called it racist. Sounds familiar, Zoe? Sounds familiar, Zoe? Saying that racist card? Huh? Tom DeVore is not a racist. Tom DeVore, from what I understand and I looked up, is a very good man. Terry Newsom is a good man. They're fucking patriots. All right? They are. If it wasn't for these guys, our Republican Party would be in the fucking sewer. Zoe's coming around and calling everybody a racist. You're racist. You're racist. You're racist. Hey, you're racist. It's like Oprah Winfrey, right? Giving out those cars. Hey, you're a racist. And you're a racist. And yeah, you're a racist. Everybody's a racist. Everybody's a fucking racist. Don't you hate people like that? It's almost on the same tier of demanding reparations. You ever heard about getting a fucking job? Seriously. Go out and get a damn job. Reparations? I don't owe you shit. I don't believe in slaves. In fact, I'm part Irish. My family members were slaves to the British. It's a true story. Patrick Gibbons, last name Gibbons, very Irish name. Where's my reparations? Where's my reparations? I need some fazoos too. Grease this hand a little bit. Where's my reparations? My family, the Irish, they've been slaves for years. I can show you proof of that. Where's my reparations? Stop this bullshit. Stop this bullshit. You go out there and you earn it. You earn it. And guys like Joe Severino thinks he can earn it by threatening the world. Joe, some kind advice from Patrick Gibbons. If you were just nice to people, if you were just down to earth to people, if you were just a gentleman to people, you would have made the ballot. You probably would have been the nominee against Fat Slob Pritzker. You would have. You have that charisma. But you shot yourself in the foot. Now the entire Illinois Republican Party hates your fucking guts because of you. And I knew that he was a prick back in 2023. A late night phone call threatening my fiance. My fiance said, I can draw up the contract. I'll make the contract where, you know what? Patrick doesn't want anything to do with the show anymore. Because I told Ramona, you know what? I don't want anything to do with this fucking show. I can't find a replacement for Walter. It's too much fucking drama. People were telling me, even the head manager at WCGO, Gus, he was saying, Patrick, don't let this prick, that was his word, don't let this prick bother you. It's your show at the end of the day. I was like, you know what? I don't want nothing to do with this show anymore because it's too much damn pressure. And Walter ditched me. He let me hold the fucking bag. And now I'm trying to find a replacement. And I got this prick. I thought he was a nice guy, but he's threatening me. And Ramona was like, before this phone call, I'll settle it. And Ramona was like, Joe, I will make a contract where it's all done. I will make it done. Joe was like, well, it's for a year. No, it's done now. Trust me. I know exactly what to do. I'm ending it today. All right? You get to go to the show. A couple of shows after Patrick is gone. It's all set. And then in the meanwhile, with the negotiation talking, Ramona can talk very well for negotiations. Joe Severino kept threatening Ramona. I swear to God. Like he was like here and Ramona was here. You know what Ramona did? At one point, Ramona was like, honey, you got the wrong bitch, honey. You got the wrong bitch. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, you're going to kiss my ass. And this is Joey. I shall not. On the phone. I swear to God, that's what he said. On the phone. I shall not. Like he's all indignant of the conversation. Like it's too much for these ghetto slobs. I shall not. And guess what? Ramona did a great contract where I got out of it. I was supposed to stay there another 6 months. I swear. And I wasn't. No fine, no nothing because of Ramona. And at the end of the day, hypothetically speaking, Joey kissed Ramona's ass. That's exactly what happened. Ramona got me out of the 6 months of the contract. Let Joe Severino got a couple of days after that. And that was it. I had a discussion. It was a 3-person discussion the following day. Ramona forwarded that document to Gus. Gus got it. Gus wanted a meeting with both of us just to clarify everything. Just to, get everything out. You know what I mean? So everybody knows exactly what's going on. Closed session. I swear to God, this is the conversation that no one knows about. And everybody will. Thank you, Terry. This is exactly what happened. Closed session. Gus said, okay, we're going to end the contract here. And then Joe's like, well, I could sue this radio station. I could sue him because I belong on the radio show. And Gus was like, no, you don't. Let me tell you something. I own this. I own all this. I'm not just a manager. I'm part owner of WCGO. And Joe, with his imaginary law license, didn't know that. Gus was like, yeah, I'm part owner of WCGO. All right? I'm not manager. I'm part owner. You didn't know that, right? Yeah. So I say what goes. It doesn't matter what you say, Joe. And then you know what? I couldn't take it anymore because I love that radio show. I really love that fucking radio show. I swear on the Holy Bible. Yeah, so like, this is why I said to Joe Severino. It was my last conversation with him. I was like, Joe, you know what you are? You're a piece of dog shit. He's like, what do you call me? I came closer because I thought he had a hearing issue, because I'm polite to people and I thought he had a hearing issue. I wanted to make sure the man heard me. So I came a little closer, I was polite, being a good, polite person my mom raised me. I was like, Joe, you're a piece of dog shit. Now, what are you going to do about it? And I looked at him like that, dead eye. He goes back like this, chewing his gum like a cow. And that was the end of it. Swear to Jesus, that's what happened. At the time, I was 150 pounds soaking wet. I didn't care. I was hoping he would hit me. I was hoping for it. I'm 225 pounds now. I gained a little bit of weight. Ramon is a great cook. What can I tell you? Yeah, but I didn't care. I didn't care. I didn't care. Gus, like, Patrick, you can go, Pat. You can go. So I left the conference room. And that was that. And that's how the radio show ended. That's how it ended. Joe Severino here and there does his threats. Sometimes he calls anonymously. Sometimes he threatens me. But I haven't heard threats from him for maybe like a year and a half. Because he knows that we have lawyers too. And his lawyer is my lawyer. And do you think at the end of the day, his lawyer is going to do anything to me? He's my campaign manager for my race. And you wouldn't have that lawyer if it wasn't for me because of my show. And now everybody knows the truth. And that felt good saying it. Oh, it felt so good. Felt so good. I was so good to so many people on that show. I had a Christian attitude. I didn't know anything about anything. I was so naive. Wet behind the ears, they say. I was. I want everybody to hear what I did for a lady by the name of Rocio Cleveland. Play the clip for Rocio Cleveland, please.
We have a lot of guests here today. I'm not talking about one guest. I'm not talking about two guests. I'm not even talking about three guests. I kid you not. We have today 4 guests, and including me, and now that's 6 people on the show today. We're going to have everybody's opinions today heard. It's going to happen. But before we go to our guests, and they're all great guests today, Miss Rocio Cleveland has an event on August the 5th, 2023 from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Lincoln Room at the Wakanda Area Public Library. Children will be reading a book about how to be brave. This is a fun-filled event for children of all ages. An arts and crafts activity as well as light refreshments will be provided. Several surprises will be announced throughout this whole dynamic event from start to finish. You don't want to miss this. It's a very good conservative event. I really suggest people go to it. It's a beautiful thing.
And I did that for 2 shows. Free advertising twice per show. That's 4 times, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know how much it is to advertise someone's event on a radio? It costs money. John Anthony, you know how much it costs. That costs money, right, sir? On AM 560, I'm sure. That costs a lot of money. Yes, it does. And you know how Rocio Cleveland, who's good friends of Joe Severino, you know how she gave her thanks to me? I'll tell you how. She was talking mad shit, all kinds of stuff online about me. A lot of people came to me. Walter Adamczyk came to me. Other people came to me and said, Rocio Cleveland, I can see what she's doing. I can see what she's doing online. She's talking mad shit. She's talking mad shit about you. I was like, why would she do that? Why? That's not nice. That's not nice at all. Because Joe Severino told her bad stuff. That's exactly why she's telling people that there's something wrong with you. After I did that for her, a supposed Christian, Rocio. Had I knew what you were really like, I would have avoided you like the plague, like I'm sure a lot of people is already doing to you anyways, who ran an unsuccessful campaign last time around. I don't even think she broke 20%. Why are these people running? I have no idea. And I go to my next person that I want to talk about. That's part of that clan. The people you got to watch out in Illinois is Joe Severino, Rocio Cleveland, Max Rice, and Mark Rice. Those four. Zoe, I think, is a little confused. So I'm not going to include her on that list just yet. I'm going to see what she does. If she keeps calling, she might call me a racist after this podcast. She might call me a big racist. I hope she does. People won't believe her. Max Rice. Max Rice tried to make the ballot for 50th Ward Republican committeeman. It's broken down in 50 wards. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? 50 wards. There's 77 neighborhoods in Chicago. Just like the aldermen, these are the committeeman roles for Chicago GOP. They have their own city GOP. Okay? Max Rice tried to get on the ballot. He was gone. I'm telling you, he was smoked. He had no hope whatsoever. He was literally sinking. He was like sinking where he needed help. So what did I do? I hooked him up with my friend, Perry Abbasi, attorney. Max Rice paid Perry $700 to stay on the ballot against a guy named Kelly. They gerrymandered the hell out of the ward. Kelly came from another ward to go in the 50th. A ward Max Rice should have won because it's heavily Jewish in that neighborhood, in that ward. And Max Rice is Jewish. You would think he would win. Since I did him a favor by giving him my connection of Perry Abbasi for $700, you're probably wondering how I know that. I know a lot of stuff. I would have thought that Max Rice would need assistance for 3.5 months of campaign work. I said to him, hey, because his old man, Mark Rice, is a multimillionaire. He's not poor. He brags about his nice loft in downtown overlooking Lake Michigan. That costs money. Mark Rice drives a car that drives by itself. All right? The man is loaded. He's worth a lot of fucking money. So you'd think the kid, if he's broke, he would get it from daddy, which he does get it from daddy. He does get it from daddy. Because daddy does anything for his maxi pad. He does. He does anything and everything for maxi pad. Max Rice, I'll do your campaign for $1,000. No problem. I'll pass out the brochures. I'll do everything for you, brother. You know what happened? He's like, Patrick, I don't want that, but I'll tell you what. You can join the G team. The G team. I don't even know what that fucking means. He's like God. That don't make any sense. I am a Christian. I've joined the G team for the last 40 years before you were even born, Max. I'm telling you, hey, $1,000 for 3.5 months of work. He didn't want it. I lowered it to $500. I thought that was okay. That was a good deal. He didn't want it. What happens? Max Rice lost to Kelly 66 to 33% of the vote, 66 to 34, something like that. He lost by 2/3 of the vote, an award he should have won. You should have got my assistance, Max. Just like I did for Walter. Walter got 250,000 votes. I did a lot in this city. A lot. And I want you all to see what I did against a rapist at Theodore Roosevelt High School. That was a dance instructor that molested 2 young boys. Please play the clip.
Parents and activists upset with the Cook County judicial system because a registered sex offender received what they say is just a slap on the wrist. Byron Ortega was a dance instructor at Roosevelt High School when he was accused of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old and sexually abusing a 14-year-old.
This scumbag received 30 months of probation when in fact he should be in prison for 30 years for the atrocities he has done to 2 young boys while as a dance instructor at Theodore Roosevelt High School.
Activists say Cook County prosecutors dropped 5 sexual abuse charges and 10 child pornography counts in a plea deal with Ortega. We have reached out to CPS for comment.
You can thank Judge Arthur Willis for that, who had the sexual rapist on electronic monitoring. Instead of fighting good Republicans, you should be fighting Democrats, Max Rice. Max Rice put up a hit piece against my fiance, Ramona. He did. He did. And I asked the old man, Mark Rice, hey, can you tell your son, please, can you put that hit piece down for my fiance? Because she didn't do anything to Max. She's a sweet person, you know. She's a Christian. She does a lot. She takes care of my dad. She takes care of my own dad. And she calls my dad, Dad. She comes to the house. She takes care of him. My 77-year-old father that no one knew about. I'm telling you, Ramona is a beautiful person. She takes care of my own father. And Max Rice put a hit piece against her, saying that she's running for Cook County GOP chairperson. She had no intent to run for Cook County GOP chair. Putting defamatory statements against her in his little shit piece article. Max Rice, I just want to tell you, me and Ramona, after 3.5 years, we're engaged. We're married. We're going to get married in December. We love each other. From what I heard, your marriage lasted 12 fucking hours with Mia. And they got divorced after a fucking week. You're the absolute parasite loser of Illinois. And everybody hates your fucking guts. Your old man, all he had to do was denounce you. If he had the balls to denounce you, if he told you what was it, because my dad, if I got out of line with adults, with people, left and right like that, like Max does, my dad would have gave me a rhapsody across the head, man, because I wasn't raised that way. I was never raised that way. I was raised for respect. I even respected Joe Severino when he came in the radio station. My fucking show. Max Rice, you're a fucking piece of vermin to do that to Ramona. And I'm glad that your wife divorced you, now ex-wife. I'm glad that you lose every race you come about. I'm glad people hate your guts. And I'm glad your old man lost too, because he's a loser too. And for Joe Severino, Rocio Cleveland, and Zoe, fuck you too. These parasite judges, these are the people we have to go against. The focus is the judges, these Democrat judges. The focus is these Democrat politicians that's absolutely destroying the city of Chicago, absolutely destroying Cook County, absolutely destroying the state of Illinois. Very quickly, Will Guzzardi, the 39th state rep for the 39th congressional district, proposes 3518 bill, which will decriminalize prostitution. Decriminalize prostitution. Will Guzzardi wants to make the state of Illinois the next Nevada. That is crazy. Did you know that? And that's right now sitting the bill ready to be passed. No one knows this. No one knows what's going on. Also, Bill 2254 in the Democrat Senate, chief sponsor Kimberly Lightford. She wants to make child molesters very comfortable, and that bill will put them closer to parks, daycare centers, and schools. 250 feet closer. I kid you not. Let me repeat what I just said. HB 2254. Democrat Senator Kimberly Lightford of the 4th District, chief sponsor, wants to make child molesters so comfortable so they can get closer, 250 feet closer, to parks, schools, and daycare centers. Yeah. And that bill is being looked at, ready to pass. I fight these evil bastards, these parasites. They're called Democrats. Let's just shorten it up to Democrats, right? Byron Ortega should be in jail for life for having sex with 2 young boys, molesting 2 young boys. And no one bats an eye. No one knows what's going on. Most people are oblivious of what's going on. CPS is scraping everything underneath the rug. Everything underneath the rug. CTU is the new mob, okay? CTU bought this mayor a long time ago. CTU funnels money to this fat Governor Pritzker, always. And these stupid laws are being passed by the Democrats. And you got the average dumb voter voting for these parasites, not knowing what the hell is really going on. And then meanwhile, you have infiltrators, distractors, rhinos that's trying to destroy the party. And with that, I gotta tell you, I love you all, I really do, and I'm glad I got this all out there. And you probably are like gawking like this. I gotta tell you, I love you all. I love the Republican Party of Illinois. And I love Behind Enemy Lines. You gotta watch more of this show. This show is awesome. All right. That being said, you all have a good day, a blessed day. Stay safe out there. I love you all. I love you all. I love you, Ramona. Thank you.